Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome back. Today is March 29th at 9:28 p.m. Welcome back to the ranch. Get it? So today I'd like to talk to you just really quickly about something that I have thought about over the years, ever since I heard this story about Skinwalker Ranch, or also known as the Sherman Ranch. It was many years ago I heard this, and I meant to make a video about it, but I just kept forgetting. So here we are. So, if you don't know, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the backstory. And so I have this little article here, and it says this is from a podcast. I'll post it below. It says a dream ranch that came with nightmares. Most of us picture buying a ranch as the ultimate escape: wide skies, quiet nights, and land that finally belongs to you. For Terry and Gwen Sherman in 1994, the 480-acre Myers Ranch in Utah's Uinta Basin looked like exactly that, until they noticed every door locked from both sides, iron bars, and iron is really important because iron keeps out interdimensional beings and supernatural creatures, yeah? Iron bars on every window, and the previous owners refusing to explain why. So it says a welcome party had teeth. The welcome party had teeth. Days after moving in, a wolf the size of a pony strolled up, let the family pet it, then crushed a calf's skull in its jaws. Terry emptied a rifle into it at point-blank range. The creature didn't bleed, didn't flinch, and walked away, leaving no tracks. And that was the opening act. And that's what I'm going to talk about, that incident specifically, and about the land, and the nature spirits and interdimensional beings that live there, and are on that part of the property, or in that part, of the state. It's clearly, a hot spot for that, but let's just continue. So it says, night after night, the basin lit up, glowing blue orbs, hunting across the pastures, silent black rectangles hovering above the ridge, cigar-shaped craft that defied sound and physics. The family dogs went berserk. The cattle tried to trample fences to escape something they could sense, but the humans couldn't see. So it says portals, predators, and precision surgery. Then came the rips in the air, like dimensional openings, shimmering doorways revealing red deserts under alien moons, or steaming jungles that had no business existing in Utah. Dark, elongated figures stepped through, observed, and vanished. Like how I had mentioned in my Dimensional Thief video, there was a CERN scientist that said something came through, took a scarf, and left. It's very similar to that. Where was I? Sorry. Observed and then vanished. Cattle began dropping dead, organs removed with laser-like cuts, and not a drop of blood on the ground. Tools vanished from locked sheds. Now, tools vanished from locked sheds. Again, how I showed you in the Dimensional Thief video, where these beings can just walk through walls and remove things, right? Only to reappear inside the refrigerator. So at least they put it back, but they put it back in the wrong spot. That's all. Disembodied voices. Again, these are beings in other dimensions, whispered through empty rooms. So the breaking point was after losing nearly a dozen prized animals and watching their children live in terror. The Shermans sold the ranch in 1996 to billionaire Robert Bigelow, who turned it into a paranormal research facility. The name Skinwalker Ranch was born, and the legend has only grown darker and stranger ever since. Whatever is in that basin just didn't haunt the Shermans, it marked them, and decades later, The lights still dance, the clouds still vanish, and the portals still open. Some places it seems were never meant to belong to us. And like I was talking before in previous videos past, is that there are these interdimensional spaces in between spaces, and sometimes like they interbleed with our world. So about the black dog, when I heard this story initially, of course I didn't know all that I know today, what the information that I've gathered. Of course, we all know we know nothing, but let's just continue. So, from what I gathered, back then, just that instant where, so as I remember hearing it, it was Terry and there was a son, his son was there, and they were outside and they were doing their work. Because I'm sure he wasn't alone, because they went and got a second gun. And this was the original story that I heard years and years and years ago. So what had happened is this really big black dog strolled up out of nowhere up to them. And it seemed to be friendly. And they pet it. And at first, it's quite intimidating. They didn't know what to do. And then here it is, and they're petting it. And then it makes eye contact. It looks at them, and then it looks over at the calf and goes to take it. Thinking about nature spirits and the way things used to be long ago, well, it's not about worship. It's kind of about coexisting, right? Making an offering in a way where, here you go, here's a meal. Let's share this place together and not be at war. Like a peace offering. That's what I thought. And I wondered if they had just given it the calf. And I know that this is about money. It was a cattle ranch. I understand. If they were only aware, though, of how things worked and kind of the laws of nature and then the spiritual hierarchies and these beings and such, right? Because it doesn't exactly work the same. I mean, when you meet somebody for the first time, I guess you give a gift. It's not the same. And I hope you understand, like, if maybe they had given the calf, the energies would have settled. They wouldn't have bothered them as much. Maybe this was the problem. That here they are living on this space that these beings felt belonged to them, almost imposing upon their territory. It's always made me wonder. And they ended up shooting it to get it off of their animal, their calf. And several times it didn't flinch, it didn't yelp, it didn't back off. And just before then, and I understand that sometimes rabies will make animals seem friendly at first. But there was no signs of the animal acting in any other way. I mean, they're ranchers. They would know signs of stuff like that. Thought about that. But after they shot it a few times, and I remember they went and got a bigger gun, it just left. And then it ran across the field and it disappeared. It just disappeared. It was like going over, like, how there's like a down part and then like a stream and then you go up again, like a little part like that. Well, it didn't disappear into the water, but that's where the portal was. And it went towards this waterway and disappeared. And so I said before, I mean, even if it looked like a black dog, it could have possibly been what we know as Dog Man and kept its kind of animal-like what am I trying to say here? So it hid the fact that it could stand up, possibly. We don't know, because we hear a lot about that, but like how sometimes you think it's a dog and then they friggin' stand up and it's like, holy crap, that's not a dog. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I wonder if you haven't seen that video about that I did about the interdimensional being caught on camera there with that fellow with the blue do-rag. What did I call that? I can't remember now. But he caught something on camera, which is half in our space and half out. Yeah. And that's really good. And it does look like an upstanding dog man. Yeah. But like, I just want to say, like, could it have been possible that if they had given the calf, that something could have been rectified if there was any wrongs? Because especially if you don't know, and from what I've read, because the rules are different, sometimes we can easily offend these other beings. Yes? Like it reminds me of when I was learning about the jinn through like the Muslim teachings. That's what they believe interdimensional beings are, aliens are jinn. They tell you that about like not running water at nighttime and different things like this, so that you don't disturb these creatures. Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there and remind people, that I think there's been hints of it all along, you know, about the interdimensional reality of portals and not necessarily going out to outer space as we're told it is, but as in the outer spaces outside of ours. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the in between, like I described before, when you see a UFO going into a volcano, all they have to do is switch dimensions, switch spaces. I mean, we would look in and we'd just see volcano, but they've changed spaces in there. It could be a whole other world, you know? Yeah. So I hope you'd enjoy these thoughts I'm sharing with you. I know that they've kind of, I haven't really watched the Skinwalker Ranch TV show all that much, just because it's kind of Hollywoodized, a bit silly. But there are some really good stories that you hear, and it makes you wonder, and the fact that now it has been turned into a paranormal research facility, which I'm not surprised because the level of activity is just wild. Like another story there was that their dogs had gotten free and they chased those blue orbs and there was no more dogs. Yeah. I mean, of course, when it poses a threat, right? And that reminds me, now I'm not saying it's 100% true, but it's always stuck with me about what Dr. Jonathan Reed said about his dog, and then that being turned it to a pile of dust. That was pretty awful. But he also describes an interdimensional reality there with that story. Like the being is shifting in and out, phasing in and out, like as it's trying to get the dog off him. He's trying to leave our dimension. Most likely he couldn't because the thing was attached to him. The dog was attached to him, rather. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess it just took something to connect that all together for me to make some kind of sense of all of these things more, or maybe just see them with a different perspective. Hmm. But yeah, I thought that I should get that out there and connect that with the other things that I've talked about on my channel recently, because I do believe that it's important. Now, with the cattle mutilation. So, again, these beings might be removing the animal into their own dimension, taking what they need from it, and putting it back. Of course, I've heard the theory that there's, military testing being done and they kind of copy the same thing that these beings sometimes do. So there's a whole bunch of theories on it, and well, I've heard some other ones which are even worse. But I believe I've read several times that about the plasma and stuff that they like to consume. Is some of them may only be able to live on certain substances. I don't know. It may be. Sorry, one second. I've got a really bad tickle in my throat. Just hold on. Goodness, I had a frog in my throat, as they say. So, it may be somewhat related to where, the whole chupacabra, goat sucker thing, drinks blood again, vampire legends, similar stuff like that. All from, these sources, these interdimensional beings, And I mean, it's not all sinister and evil, okay? I'm not saying that these acts are pleasant and good, but it does say that when some of these beings, in my research that I've done, and I talked about it in previous videos, where when these beings are in our dimension, they do need to eat and have sustenance and sleep. Like, if I haven't mentioned yet, I'll show you in another video when I'll make a separate video about it, but there were beds in the craft that I saw in that recurring dream that I had about that Mars evacuation thing. There were 2 beds inside that craft. So, I mean, and single ones for 1 person each. It's clearly for resting, So yeah, anyway, I'm just going to show you my outfit now. And I hope that you enjoyed that little chit chat about that. I've been wanting to talk about it for a while, but I guess it was just meant to be now. I am wearing one of my favorite dresses. It's a blue dress that I just absolutely love. And I decided to wear it today for spring. I didn't intend on recording so late at night, but I just kind of got busy with things and had things to do, and here we are. Okay. So, okay, let's show you like this first. So this is my blue dress. I'll take off my little sweater because it's cold. It's still cold even though it's spring. It'll be a while. Oh yeah, and I want to tell you this. My lightsaber broke. So now it only flashes red, and I'm really sad. It just happened before I started recording, and I'm hoping that I might be able to fix it and put new little light bulbs in so it glows all the same colors that it was previously. But, okay, so this is what my dress looks like. It's got these cute little sleeves on it, little frilly sleeves, and I did try to press it, but this little ribbon does not like staying proper. But yeah, so I'm going to have to fix this. See? Ta-da! Ta-da! It's, it's along to the floor. Here, let's see. You can see my cat trees. Hold on. There we go. Couldn't see. I'm so far away, I know. But it's a lovely dress. Dun, dun, dun. I really love it. It's blue and beautiful. Ta-da! 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 So, yeah, and I just put my hair in a braid because it was getting all full of knots, and that's it. Whee! Cute, huh? So yeah, I was inspired by Toby in my Dimensional Thief video because she's got that cute pink dress, but look, I got a cute blue one. Twins! Okay. My beautiful blue dress. So yeah. Okay. Well, hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope you like my blue dress. And I'll see you again soon. I hope that you're having a great week, and thank you so much for all your support and your kind words. And I'm doing well. I'm tired right now, but we're all doing good. Marvin and Salem is good, are well. We're all good. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go now because I can hardly think. I'm so tired. But yeah, alrighty. Take care, everyone. Thanks for being here with me. I appreciate you. See you later. Bye.